Hi, I'd like to welcome you to this first Qigong flow for the 5 elements. Here we're going to be working with nature. Our movements in this flow mimic nature as we bring the body and the mind into harmony. The 5 elements we'll be going through in the generating cycle of 5 elements as found in traditional Chinese medicine, and I'll walk you through during the practice. This practice is similar to the other practice of 5 elements, but as you'll see, the flows are just a bit different. So let's start with doing a bit of warm-up. And we're going to start today by taking a bit wider stance than shoulders or shoulder stance. And we're going to be doing something that's called knocking on the door of life. So let's first just start by grounding in this position, feeling a nice stable standing pose. The soles of the feet are nice and grounded to the floor. It's great to do this practice barefoot so you can really feel the connection to the earth, to the mat, to wherever you're standing, that you're connected. And let's just take a few moments here to connect with the breath. So I would like you to close your eyes and place your hand somewhere on your body, on your torso, just to feel and observe the breath. Without changing anything, we're just here to observe how the body is in this moment. And just by this short connection to feeling the breath in the body, we can come more into connection as we start the movements. Just closing our eyes and dropping in here. Feeling the belly expand on inhale and release on exhale. And so let's take one more breath with each other before we start knocking on the door of life. And open your hands and open your eyes and relax your hands down. And grounding the feet down, we're going to start rotating at the hips. And we're going to start knocking right underneath the ribs on the front. And in the middle of the back of the spine, around the kidney area in the back. And as we do this movement, when I will release completely from the shoulders. So the only awareness I have of movement here is the connection of my feet to the ground and rotating from the waist and hips and bringing my hands into the body and knocking. This knocking is a bit of acupressure to wake up the energy body. And also, we're providing a bit of lubrication to the spine as we do this. There's quite a special point that we're knocking on in the back. It's called the door of life. Chinese, this is called the Min Meng. And this is where our vitality is awakened when we knock this. So again, just imagining that the arms are heavy. They're like heavy, wet ropes, just going from side to side, enlivening the body. You can close your eyes during any of these movements, just kind of drop in. Let go of any other distractions for this short time that we have together. And breathing deeply at your own pace. And so just take a few more breaths here before we move on to the next enlivener. And these enliveners are done before we start the flows in Qigong, just to get the energy a bit flowing. So let's start relaxing this movement as we allow our hands to come to the side. And we'll come to the next one, which is called spinal cord breathing. I'd like you to take some light fists, and we're going to be Inhaling as we open the chest to the sky, and exhaling as the elbows come down to the abdomen. So a nice gentle movements of just opening up the chest, opening up the shoulder blades, and then exhaling as the chin comes to the chest, the elbows come to the abdomen, we round the back. There's always a slight bend in the knee. And I'd like you to do this also with your own natural breath. That means go at your own pace. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So if you're familiar in yoga with the cat-cow, this is exactly what we're doing. We're moving the spine, the thoracic spine, and the shoulder blades. Just opening up the whole chest area to make the breath a bit easier and bringing some life energy to the shoulder joints and also into the back. Just allowing now the energy to move a bit more up the spine. Before we're concentrating more on the lumbar spine, now more on the thoracic spine. And just try a few movements with your eyes closed. Just dropping in, feeling the extension and flexion of the spine, seeing where your borders are. How far can you go? But don't go to the limit. And always leave a bit of space. None of these movements are really muscular. This is just the preparation before we start the flows. Let's do one more. And then exhale, bringing the arms down. And let's just stand here for 1 or 2 breaths just to feel the difference in the body from when we first arrived. Bringing once again this awareness into the feelings, the sensations in the body. This awareness also heightens our concentration. So our last enlivener that we'll do will be to move the spine laterally. So we've moved the spine in rotations. We've moved it like in a wave, so flexion and extension. And so now we're going to move it laterally. And this is basically called dog wags the tail. So you can imagine, coming from nature, that you have a tail and you want to wag it back and forth. And that's all we're doing here, is just moving the hips back and forth. And knees are always slightly bent. And you can let the arms drop heavy. It's not a movement in the arms, it's mostly in the hips, the lumbar spine, also a bit in the shoulders. Just moving back and forth like a happy dog. And so just breathing easy. You can also close your eyes and feel what this movement feels like in the body. It's a bit strange movement, what I feel. It's not a typical movement that we make every day, but it's really great for the vertebrae and the spine, just to give them a bit more lubrication before we start. And let's just take one more breath in this movement and then release it as we come to stillness and prepare for the first element. Our first element is metal, and metal is the structure in life. It's the minerals that we find in the earth. And this metal element is for energy, and it's the lungs. So the organ, the yin organ for metal is lungs. So that's why we're starting with this nice breath exercise. It's called Buddha Holds Up the Earth. So grounding once again into the feet. Our feet are still about they can be hip distance, they can be shoulder distance, wherever you feel really grounded to the earth. We take our hands, palms facing up. As we inhale, we drag it up the midline of the body as the palms face towards the ceiling. And then exhaling as they come down, the palms face the lungs. exhaling all the way down. So it's really simple movement. So once we get the hang of this, we can really drop into only to the movement and the awareness of how this feels in the body. All these flows are really simple movements to heighten our concentration and get the energy flowing in the body. So all these flows can be done with the eyes closed once you know the movements. And there's no beginning or end of the movement. That means we don't stretch all the way so that our arms are straight. There's always a bit of a bend in the elbows on both sides. So inhaling and then exhaling. And I invite you to find here your own pace that's unique to your breath, with the awareness that the slower you go, the slower you bring your breath, the more awareness and concentration you could bring into the practice. So if you haven't done already, let's just drop in, close your eyes as you feel the movements, how you can breathe. So you inhale, the arms sweep up, you allow space to bring more air into the lungs, and then exhaling as the arms coming down, releasing the air in the lungs. You can even try to make a bit of a break before you inhale. And at the extension of the inhale, taking a break at the top, and then releasing back down. And with these movements, see if you can build a bit of tension in the movements. That means that on a scale from 1 to 10, we're looking for just this really nice edge, that we have energy in the movements. So it's not like we're completely allowing total relaxation. That's not the point. We have a bit of tension in the muscles, just to feel like we're maybe pulling up a weight of really not more than like 500 grams or so. It's just a really slight energy tension in the movements. And we're bringing the energy in and then down, reflecting it. So let's take one more. And then allow the hands to release just down to the middle, just for a few breaths. Once again, tuning into the experience, tuning into the body. The next flow will be for the water element. The water element is related to the kidneys, and this is for relaxation. Our kidneys in Chinese medicine are the batteries of the body. This is where our energy comes from. And this one is called the fountain. So I'd like to show you first just the hand movements. The hand movements, the back of the hands come together, up the midline of the body, and then they fall by the collarbone out. So just bringing the arms up easily, imagining a fountain. So we're bringing the energy from the earth all the way up through the body, through the kidneys, and then allowing it to fall back. Just like a fountain you might see in a park, how the water comes from the bottom, from the spring, comes up and creates a nice double rainbow. At the same time, we're doing a spine action. So now that you have the hand movements, we're going to bring the back of the hands together, and I'm dropping the tailbone as the back of the hands come together. And as I lift the back of the hands up, my spine is coming into a wave all the way up to the top. Dropping the tailbone and then coming up in a wave. Drop, waving up. Drop, wave. So once you get this, you can close your eyes and drop into the energy of water. And water is soft. It's a soft energy, but it's extremely strong. The water in a river, moving water, can erode rocks so that they're smooth and shiny. And this is the power of softness. This energy we want to invoke, this nice softness now in the spine of gentle moving, gentle waves up the spine. And again, as a challenge, let's see if you can do the movements really slow, slowing down the breath. Having this awareness. What it feels like. Expanding in the lungs on inhale and releasing on the exhale. Let's do one more here. And then releasing it down. And drop the tailbone, releasing the arms. And just feeling, just being aware. Where is the body? Where is the mind? Coming back into the body, coming back into this room. Focusing your attention on this practice. Our next element is for the wood element, and the wood element is represented for the liver. So the liver, we all know, does so many great things with the body, and it's a great detoxifier. And we all know somebody who has liver problems gets angry really easily. So this is common knowledge. And this is also true in Chinese medicine. So the liver element is our resilience. It's how we react to when we have challenges or obstacles in our path. And so when we do these movements, I just want to interject, all these movements are going on specific meridians in the body. They're stimulating certain meridians that stimulate these organs to bring the energy and release the energy in the body to promote harmony within the body. So when we do this movement for the liver or the wood element, we're stimulating all the liver meridians. And as you know, or hopefully you know, the liver is on the right side of our body, right underneath the ribs here. So again, taking a nice, comfortable standing pose, we're going to take the arms like we're holding a ball in the middle and rotating from the hips, feeling the connection of the soles of the feet to the ground. We're going to drag the hands up the midline of the body as it comes to the crown of the head, coming towards the center as we exhale, and the hands come down, exhaling. Rotating to the other side, inhaling. Rotating towards the center, exhaling, palms down. And we're just going, alternating from side to side. Exhaling in the middle as the palms of the hands come down. Turning, inhaling to the other side. And so most of our liver meridians are in the legs and coming up the sides of the body. So here we're stretching the sides of the body as well as some of the meridians in the legs. And once you get this movement, I invite you once more to close your eyes and drop into the movement. Just enjoying the simplicity of it, the simplicity that we just have to pay attention to the breath. And guiding this breath. And how wonderful it is that our body knows what to do with the breath. All the organs are functioning without us even having to do anything. We just have to provide nice, calm And another important component of these flows, these Qigong flows, is the visualization, so imagery. And here, as we're in the wood element, let's imagine that we're a tree in spring. The leaves are just budding, so it's this beautiful spring green color, full of potential, this potential of creativity. And for just the last few movements, just drop in and see if you can do it in slow motion. Bringing the hands all the way up the body to the crown of the head. Effortlessly letting the arms down. Turning to the other side. Inhaling the air like it's a tall drink. Coming back to the center. And doing one more to each side. And then back to the center, and I'd like you to take your hands before you and imagine that you are channeling the energy of a tree. You're a tree hugger. You're one of those people that are standing, protecting the tree from being cut down because you know this beautiful energy that's in the tree. And you're channeling this energy. The tree is tall, it withstands the storms as long as it's healthy because it sways in the wind. It's not rigid. And this is resilience. So now I'd like you to drop your left hand. So I'm not mirroring you. I'm also doing my left hand. And it actually doesn't matter. You can mirror me. It doesn't have to be one hand or the other. And I'm going to do now what's called cloudy hands. This is for the heart element, fire. So we have the heart and it's fire. So these are our emotions. This is the connection that we have with each other. And this movement is also going side to side. I'm just going to show you the hand movement first. The hand, the palm of the hand is reflecting the energy in the heart center. And I'm moving basically from side to side, alternating, as the other hand drags behind. And your breath here can be free and easy. And now I'm going to show you a bit of a weight change. So before I move to the other side, my hand comes up and the same hip is going to move over to the side I'm moving. So it's just a bit of a weight change from side to side before I move. And here you can cultivate an energy in the heart. And depending upon your emotional state at the moment and what you'd like to create, because this is all about intention, this practice, is either to create an energy where we are enlivened, so we have joy, we have excitement that we'd like to create, or calmness. So I'd like you to choose which kind of energy you'd like to create in your heart center and have this intention as you move. And think of whatever story or image that you have that invokes this kind of feeling in your heart center. These intentions and imagery can be so strong on our energy system. And now that you're probably familiar with the movement, I would like you to close your eyes and just drop in, feeling the movement in your body, feeling your breath, concentrating on your intention for the heart center. This is the center of joy, enjoyment, communication, our relationships with others. and with ourselves ultimately. Can you feel the flow? Does it feel effortless? Try letting go any kind of muscle tension you might have. It's not needed. So, coming to the end of this one, let's just take one more to each side. And then allowing the hands just to come up just for a few breaths, just funneling in that energy into the heart center. Closing your eyes and dropping in, feeling it, so solidifying this energy that you've created, whatever that might be. Now allowing the hands to fall down. We're coming to the last element, which is the earth. And this is for stomach and spleen. This is digestion. This is what we harvest. This is what we come from. We nurture ourselves. It's Mother Earth. And this is called pebble in the pond. As we reach out the arms and the hands. And it's like we're caressing a golden field. Can be a golden field, or perhaps the reflection of the sun on water in the late afternoon. These colors are also quite important. I'll go more in detail in the second flow of the imagery of colors for each of the elements. And so as the hands move out, we're exhaling. And inhaling as they come towards the body. So exhaling and inhaling. Let me show you from the side, because as we exhale, the hips are moving back. And inhaling, we're coming up to standing. Exhaling and inhaling. Just being aware of where your head is. And trying to keep a nice neutral spine for your neck, so you're not doing something funny with your neck, yeah? So this is just really natural. It's just really moving back the hips and moving forward of the arms and the hands. And here with our connection to the earth element, paying once more attention to the grounding of the feet, feeling at home and feeling safe. Allowing yourself to be you. You don't have to change any part of you. The only obligation we have is to find the best parts of us to share with everybody. Unify the parts of us. So again, for the last few movements here, just close your eyes if you haven't already, and drop in to this movement. Trying to unify now your breath with the movements. Your breath to the movements and to the awareness of the movements. And doing one more before we come back up to standing. Just taking a breath here with your eyes closed. And we're going to do a centering flow. That's for the triple burner. The triple burner is basically an organ in Chinese medicine which doesn't physically exist in the body, but it regulates all the organs. It regulates all of the elements. So this is an integrating flow, taking the arms up on an inhale, and then taking the hands down, palms facing the body as you come down the midline of the body, exhaling. Inhaling, gathering the universal energy, and exhaling, integrating it within the body. Inhale and exhale. And since this is a really simple movement, just invite you to close your eyes and imagine gathering energy and then allowing it to disperse from the crown of your head all the way down to the toes, soles of the feet, breathing all the way up to the top of your head. And energy is flowing easily. And full concentration. So let's do one more inhale. And one more exhale. Now bringing the palms of the hands slightly below your belly button. This is the lower dantian. This is our energy source, one of three. You can take your legs together, close your eyes, and allow your legs just to be limp. Here we want to move, let the body move in slow waves, integrating the energy, integrating all the movements and the breaths we've done here. Solidifying the awareness that we've built in this practice. And hopefully that we can remember this awareness we had in this short time and make a bridge over into our real life, our daily life. And always remember this practice, that when we get out of our awareness, that we can make a bit of a bridge to this awareness that we have in this practice. And the more that we practice, the easier that becomes. It's not like it ever becomes really easy to do that. We all have our own habits. So this is just a practice like any other. The more you practice it, the easier it becomes, but it might never become easy. So let's take one more breath together. Exhaling, and open your eyes and relax your hands and arms. Come back into the room, taking in the colors, taking in the light. And just taking a few seconds before you dive back into everyday life. And I hope that this practice brings you something, brings you the energy and the awareness that you can use in every day, not just on the mat or not just during the practice. Thank you very much.